the Indiana Fever beat the Dallas Wings 102-83. This was a highly anticipated game because it was going to be the first time that Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers would be going up against one another in the WNBA.
For the past 5 years, basketball fans have followed one of the most iconic rivalries in the sport, Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers. Both were high school phenoms who took different paths, Clark to Iowa, Bueckers to UConn. Clark dominated their college matchups, particularly in the NCAA tournament, though critics like Gino Arima questioned whether her success would carry over to the WNBA. Last night, the two faced off for the first time as professionals when the Indiana Fever hosted the Dallas Wings. But this wasn't just another game. It was Clark making history in a way only she's managed twice before. Excited to hear about the record she broke? Drop a comment saying CC record breaker. Let's dive in. Imagine this. Two teenage basketball phenoms taking the nation by storm, set on a collision course for years to come. Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers first went head-to-head in high school, both top-ranked recruits with very different games and personalities. Clark dazzled with explosive scoring, elite passing, and deep-range shooting, while Bueckers impressed with smooth efficiency, a deadly mid-range game, and court vision that could match Clark's.
Hey, Caitlin. You've known Paige since middle school, AAU. You guys were on the U19 World Cup team together. Is there anything that maybe stood out then about her, whether it be on or off the court, that maybe still reigns true today?
I mean, I feel like she's played in the same manner that she, has since she was, whether we were on the U16 team together, U19 team together, whether it was me watching her in AAU, like she's always just been smooth. She takes what the game gives her. Her midi has always been as nice as it's been this year. She just plays way older than she is. Like she's confident, she's smooth, she just does everything at a high level, can score from all three levels, and that's how she's always played, and that's obviously translated really well.
Their college journeys couldn't have been more different. Bueckers chose the storied UConn program under Gino Arima, joining a team with multiple championships to its name. Clark went to Iowa, a program eager to make its mark on the national stage. This set the stage for unforgettable NCAA tournament matchups that would define both players' legacies. Clark's Iowa team famously ended UConn's championship hopes in March Madness, highlighted by a 41-point performance that sent Bueckers' team home early. Head-to-head, Clark came out on top in 2 of their 3 collegiate meetings. Analysts and fans alike began taking sides, turning this into a rivalry that felt almost mythical, one that went far beyond the college courts.
And a lot of people are saying, everything is she was Caitlin before Caitlin, she's better than Caitlin, all this stuff. That kind of stopped in the media. Caitlin Clark put up better numbers in the WNBA than Paige did in college.
Gino Arima had his own critiques of Clark's game. He questioned her shot selection and doubted whether she was ready to make the leap to the WNBA compared to a star Bueckers. Arima felt Bueckers' fundamentals would translate more smoothly to the professional level. Essentially, Clark's explosive scoring and Bueckers' polished efficiency represented 2 very different approaches to basketball excellence.
And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement.
Both players entered the WNBA, and fans eagerly awaited the moment they would finally clash as professionals. The stage was set for their first pro showdown, with Clark holding a 2-1 edge from college, but facing new questions about how her game would translate. Anticipation was sky-high. ABC picked up the broadcast nationally, knowing this matchup would attract viewers from coast to coast. With Clark's recent struggles with the Fever, this game carried even more weight for her reputation.
Talking to our player development coach yesterday, and he was just sent me a few things of even Steph going through a slump. I think he was 27 for his last 70 or something like that. The best in the world go through it, and I think that's where you can find your confidence. And I think the thing I always fall back on is like, I know how hard I've worked. So, you know, this isn't something that's going to last, and the best players in the world go through this. So I feel like I'm getting good shots, and I think that's why it's frustrating, because those are the shots that I make.
Here's where things get really interesting. Clark's Fever were struggling badly heading into this huge matchup. Indiana had just taken surprising losses to teams they were expected to beat, including the LA Sparks and Golden State Valkyries. These weren't elite squads, teams the Fever should have handled comfortably, so the defeats left fans frustrated and questioning the team's form.
I feel like this stretch, you know, this is a big game for us. I think we've struggled in the fact that we're able to play one good game, and then we play a bad game, then we play a good game, then we play a bad game. So I think for us is like, we got to find a way to be able to stack really good games together, and then we go on the road, and you know, we're on a back-to-back, which is just a challenge in itself. No matter who you're playing, we play Connecticut, then we play New York. So I think Steph's message was, you know, yes, All-Stars coming up, that break's coming up, but our focus is on these 3 games that we have left. So in that sense, I do think it's critical that our focus just remains on the game in front of us, and I feel like that's what everybody in the locker room is doing.
Behind the scenes, a clash in basketball philosophy was brewing between Clark's high-tempo style and Coach Stephanie White's more methodical approach. Clark wanted to push the pace, generate fast break opportunities, and play in transition. White, on the other hand, favored a controlled half-court system. This difference created real tension within the team. Clark thrived in transition, but White's system limited her explosive style. The tipping point came during the Atlanta Dream game, when a heated sideline exchange between Clark and White was caught on camera. The intensity and visible disagreement revealed just how deep their conflict ran.
There is definitely something going on within the locker room, the front office. Something is off, man. This is the 3rd situation in one game we have had involving Caitlin Clark and the coaching staff and pretty much another player. And it looked like Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White definitely had a situation where they was in a heated exchange right before halftime.
Lineup changes only made things more complicated. Clark was returning from injury, trying to regain her rhythm, while Dyrus Dantas rejoined after national team duty. These shifts disrupted team chemistry, making it difficult to establish consistent rotations and offensive flow. Players were still adjusting to new roles as key pieces came and went. Offensive mistakes piled up. Missed shots, turnovers, and the absence of the fast break style Clark excelled in made games painful to watch. Clark herself acknowledged the inconsistency. We've struggled in the fact that we play one good game, then a bad game, then a good game, then a bad game. Her shooting slump became a major talking point, but she remained confident. "I'm never going to stop shooting," she said, comparing her struggles to the occasional cold streaks of Steph Curry. The turning point came when the Fever finally ended their losing streak against Atlanta. They won, but tensions between Clark and White persisted. The philosophical divide wasn't resolved, it was merely postponed.
You know, it can be frustrating when your shot isn't going in the way that you want it to, but then like I look at the box and it's like, I'm really 4 shots away from having a really good game, a really good shooting game. So that's where you find your confidence, and I know those are shots that I can make, and I'm never going to stop shooting. So, I mean, until I break out of it, I'm just going to keep launching, and that's all I know, and I'm still confident in everything that I can do.
The Dallas game turned into the ultimate test. Would White finally allow Clark to play the way she thrives, or would their philosophical clash continue to limit the team's potential? This internal struggle set the stage for the high-stakes matchup with Bueckers, with Clark eager to prove her approach could succeed at the professional level. Then something remarkable happened. Stephanie White made a pivotal decision. She let Clark take control of the tempo and run the offense her way. This wasn't a minor tweak. White fully shifted her strategy, trusting Clark to lead the team at the pace she excelled in.
Lee Aru the other night had a season-high 18 points. Here's Boston turning the corner. Dishing to Hull. Extra feed Clark. A deep 3. You bet! And he actually brought up stats from a shooting slump Steph Curry went through. She said that made her feel a lot better. That pass will as well. Right on the money to Mitchell.
Cunningham attacked the closeout.
Clark, the rejection of Quinterly. Clark, the flick ahead. Oh, beautifully done. Touchdown Fever.
Early in the game, it wasn't immediately clear if the new strategy would pay off. Both teams felt each other out in the first quarter. The Fever looked solid, but not yet dominant. They were gradually finding their rhythm. Clark was actively involving her teammates, but the real sparks hadn't flown yet. Meanwhile, the Wings kept pace, making the matchup feel evenly contested.
Here's Clark being hawked by Isaiah James. Clark sidestepping three is good. Clark backing down Quinterly. 6 to shoot, baiting away and dropping it in. Beautiful. Here's Clark off the screen, through the lane, feeds Howard. Another assist for Clark. That's 13 as Howard is up to 18 points.
Then the second quarter exploded. Everything clicked for the Fever. Clark pushed the tempo like never before, threading full-court passes to teammates that fans couldn't stop talking about. The team poured in an astonishing 36 points in just that quarter, outscoring Dallas by 21 in only 10 minutes. This wasn't just impressive basketball, it was poetry in motion.
And he actually brought up stats from a shooting slump Steph Curry went through. She said that made her feel a lot better. That pass will as well, right on the money to Mitchell. A tenacious start from Caitlin Clark. Here's Wale off on a three. Long rebound. Mitchell, you're not going to catch her. Kelsey Mitchell in for two. They elevate each other because of how hard they compete. Nice look. Aaliyah Boston with a gorgeous dime to Kelsey Mitchell.
Clark's leadership sparked incredible performances from her teammates. Kelsey Mitchell caught fire, pouring in 20 points on 8 of 12 shooting, extending her double-digit scoring streak to 21 games. She hit shots from all over the court, feeding off Clark's energy and pace. Natasha Howard moved like a blur, finishing with 18 points on an efficient 8 of 9 shooting, attacking the rim relentlessly. Aaliyah Boston dominated inside, using her size and strength to control the paint and convert nearly every opportunity Clark created. The chemistry between Clark and Boston was seamless. Clark would draw defenders with her speed and then dish to Boston for easy buckets.
Mitchell bounces. Boston one more time. This time Mitchell delivering. And Boston up to 13 points. Indiana shooting 66%.
What made this performance truly remarkable was the team's offensive explosion. The Fever poured in a franchise record 64 points in the first half, showcasing the most beautiful basketball they had played all season. This surpassed the previous record of 63 points set in 2016 against the New York Liberty and marked the highest scoring half by any WNBA team in the 2025 season. The Fever also tallied 30 assists, tying a franchise record. 13 of those came from Clark. It was a clear demonstration of how she could elevate everyone around her when given freedom. Clark wasn't just scoring, she was making her teammates better. The ball movement was seamless, each pass purposeful, every possession a threat. Sophie Cunningham provided a perfect spark off the bench, contributing 13 points, including a driving layup that pushed her past 1,500 career points. Her energy and shooting added another weapon the Wings simply couldn't contain.
Cunningham the rebound. Cunningham swiftly up the floor, finds Howard for two. Sophie Cunningham making a huge impact off the bench, and Dallas will take a timeout.
In this lineup, Natasha Howard is the quickest post player on the
The Fever's 36-point second quarter tied for the third highest single quarter output in franchise history. During that stretch, the team shot an incredible 76.2% from the field and went on a scorching 33-9 run lasting nearly 8 minutes. The Wings simply had no answer for Indiana's pace and intensity. Dallas appeared exhausted and disoriented, unable to match the Fever's transition game. Clark's vision of fast-paced basketball was proving dominant at the professional level. This wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. White had finally unleashed Clark's full potential, and the results were nothing short of historic.
Good dub. 2 in a row. 2 more to All-Star. Let's go.
W. Oh, Fever does. You already know what's coming. Bow, bow, bow. On to the next. Hell yeah! Can you use that one? Let's go, baby. Give your energy to Kristen. W. Now we gotta go get another one.
But then came the moment fans will never forget. Clark didn't just lead her team to victory, she made WNBA history. Throughout the game, she quietly compiled a stat line that had only been matched once before in league history. Clark was doing it all, scoring efficiently, setting up teammates, and dominating the court. And then her defensive brilliance emerged. The numbers kept climbing: 14 points, showing she could score without forcing shots; 13 assists, proving she could elevate everyone around her. On defense, she was reading passing lanes like she knew the next move before it happened, shutting down the wings with uncanny anticipation.
Is in bounds. Clark backing down Quinterly. 6 to shoot, baiting away and dropping it in. Beautiful mid-range fadeaway from Caitlin Clark.
So here's the exact moment that cemented Clark in WNBA history. With her 5th steal of the game, Clark completed a stat line of 14 points, 13 assists, and 5 steals, making her the only player in league history to achieve this combination twice in a career. She now stands alone with this rare feat, but her defensive impact didn't stop there. Clark recorded a block that immediately turned into a fast break assist to Sophie Cunningham, highlighting her complete court awareness and ability to generate scoring opportunities through defense. She disrupted the Wings' offensive flow with her anticipation, making every possession feel dangerous when she was on the floor.
Cunningham attacked the closeout.
Clark, the rejection of Quinterly. Clark, the flick ahead. Oh, beautifully done. Touchdown Fever.
Sophie Cunningham runs the route and puts her hand up in the air, gives Caitlin Clark the target, barely over the fingertips of Hines Allen. Beautiful, beautiful pass, catch, in stride, finish. Beautiful basketball.
Paige Bueckers and the Wings had no answer for Clark's all-around dominance. The most striking example was Orike Anali, who went 0-4-10 from the field and finished with just 2 points. Normally one of the Wings' top players, she was completely neutralized by Clark's defensive pressure and the Fever's team defense. The Wings' strategy of playing physical with Clark backfired, grabbing her off the ball and failing to switch on screens only gave Clark opportunities to find open teammates and attack the basket. Every attempt to slow her down turned into a scoring chance for the Fever. The final score, 102-83, told the story. Clark had answered every critic and silenced any doubt about her WNBA readiness. This wasn't just a great performance, it was a statement, showing she belonged among the league's elite. Clark wasn't merely adapting to the WNBA, she was redefining what was possible at the professional level. The rivalry with Bueckers had entered a new chapter, and Clark wrote the opening pages in commanding fashion.
I feel like this was one of their best games as far as playing Fever basketball, which is a fast-paced style of basketball. They played Fever basketball for, I would say, about 75 to 80% of the game, and we have obviously seen this style of basketball, the style of basketball that we all know and love from the Indiana Fever, but we have only really seen it in short spurts. There have been so many games and so many times throughout this season where it feels like the Fever system is a slow down basketball type of system. Their offense wasn't running smoothly, but in this game, they were playing quick. They were moving the ball around. They had so many points off of the fast break.
The prophecy is complete. Clark has proven she belongs among the WNBA's elite while achieving feats only she can claim. This dominant win over Bueckers and the Wings showcased the Fever's true potential when Clark is allowed to play her game. Franchise records fell, individual milestones piled up, and most importantly, the team chemistry clicked once White trusted Clark's vision. With the second half of the 2025 season approaching and this rivalry just beginning its professional chapter, fans have every reason to be thrilled about what's ahead. The Fever face tough road matchups against Connecticut and New York, and with Clark back, the excitement is real. If you're hyped about the Fever now, drop a comment saying CC Record Breaker. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.